What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. You don't look like a Dusty, do you? You don't look like a Dusty, do you? What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning into the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels, and it is going to be an awesome show today. What up, friends and family? How y'all doing? Hey. I'm going to ask y'all a little bit different of a question today to get started throughout the show. I'm going to ask y'all a little bit different of a question. What up, Fi Brown in the building? I'm going to ask y'all a little bit different of a question. This is going to be a yes or no. A yes or no. A little bit different of a question. What up, Julian Rooks in the building? Julian is one of my homeboys. We was working that bag and trying to show that Bentley. Back when we was working at Rouge Steel together, shout out to my dog Julian. See, all of my stories can be confirmed. They know it's real. Let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all met or are y'all going to exceed your financial goals this year? Now, I'm not asking it based off of whether or not you really going wishful thinking. Oh, yeah, I'm going to pick it up. Are you on course? Are you on pace to exceed what it is that you anticipated on earning this year now that we are on August 10th, 2023, year of our Lord? It's a yes or no. Yes or no, are you on pace to exceed what you said that you were going to make this year with your financial goals? I see a no. I see a yes. I see a yes. We cooking today. Heather said yes, no. I need y'all to be absolutely honest with me today. No. Yes, no. No. Yes, sir. No, absolutely. No, be 100% real with me, y'all. Are you on pace to exceed your financial goals that you set for yourself this year? Yes, sir. Yes. Yep. Hey, no. I love already did. I know you did, Rayshawn. Yes, says Sky. Yes. No. Yes. No. Huh. All right. Yes, Lord. No. Yes, gotta go. No. All right, so let me ask y'all a different question. Okay, no more. No more in the chat. No more in the chat. Let me ask you a different question. Now that we have the first part of that question answered. All right, because if you answered no, it's okay. It's okay, because that's why we're here, right? We're not here because we already 100% where it is that we need to be, some of us. Some of us is here because we trying to leapfrog off of what it is that we've already done in order to get to the next level. Some of us is here so that we can get started. Some of us is here so that we can get the game. Some of us is here just so we can be entertained. And then others of us are trying to find an inspiration that we need in order to continue to push ourselves to where we need to be. All right. So let me break it down. Let's revise the question now. Now that we know where we are and we're starting to take inventory on what it is that we really want, and we are giving ourselves a realistic look into what it is that we've succeeded in or failed in this year. Here's the other question. Some of you are saying yes. So let's remove the no's. Some of us are saying yes. We on pace. Here's my other question. Now that you're making what it is that you said that you wanted to exceed or meet as far as being on pace, here's the other question. How much of it did you keep? You don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer that. How much of it did you keep? You don't have to answer that. Don't answer that at all. Do not put that in the chat. Just think on it. Let's say you made 100,000 this year, first time crossing 100,000 mark. Let me ask you a question. How much of it did you keep though? Let's say you made 250, because I gave you all a goal of 250. I gave it to you a little late in the year, so I'm going to give you a little bit of grace. But here's the question that you got to ask yourself. Let's say you made 250, because a lot of the coaching calls that I'm getting right now, yeah, that's the hard part, Lester. See, a lot of us are making the money. A lot of us get to the bag. And that's the thing that I'm starting to see with the culture, right? The culture is telling you that you need to go and get the bag. The culture ain't teaching you how do you keep the bag. And that's the game. Because I was talking to somebody, I talk to a lot of chasers. I do a lot of coaching calls on a regular basis, all the way up until the time that I catch my flight over to Tokyo, Japan. And the thing that they keep asking me, the people that cross a certain threshold, I was talking to my guy the other day. He said, I'm on pace to make about 550 this year. I said, cool. I said, how much of it you gonna keep? He said, that's the problem. That's why we having this coaching call right now. You get in the bag, how much of it is you gonna keep? A lot of us get to the money. We got all kind of sources on how it is that we can make. Listen, if you join the Patreon, link is in the description right now. I'm giving you life hacks. I'm showing you exactly how it is that you can level up. I'm showing you receipts of how much I make. I give you all of the things that you need in order to get the bag. But let me ask you a question, because you're not asking the right question for yourself. So I got to ask it to you. How much of it did you keep? How much of it did the government take? How much did your mortgage company take? How much did you write off? How much did you reinvest into yourself? How much did you put into your 401k? Oh, we're not asking the right questions. I see what the problem is. How much of it did you eat? More people than not eat up all of the money that they making as far as the bag. That's a fact. How much of your salary did you eat? Going out to eat, DoorDash, tricking off, taking her out to eat. How much of your salary did you, Homer Simpson? How much of y'all actually have, and don't answer this question out loud, how many of y'all actually have a budget that you keep? Now, the budget is not how much your bills are. The budget is how much you allocate for what it is that you need to spend in order to survive, so that you can have the rest to do what it is that you need to do as far as investing. So a lot of us making a lot of money, but a lot of us don't really know how to manage it effectively. We're going to get into that today. So make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm for the greatest show in the morning. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Let's get to the bag. We're going to read the super chats throughout the show. Shout out to my dog. Mike, that dude, always hitting me off. I appreciate you, big dog. Shout out to all of my chasers. Bag Chasers is in the building. All of those that's in the Patreon. We dropped the Love Dorsey interview yesterday. A lot of y'all really enjoyed that one. Really enjoyed the Love Dorsey interview. This weekend, I'm dropping 2 more videos. I'm going to drop one specifically that helps you get to the bag. I'm going to give you the prototype for how it is that you need to paint the picture for what it is that you're advertising in order to be able to level up. And then I'm also going to drop the Eric Mays interview so that y'all can enjoy that also. All right? Let's get to it. Y'all ready to get to the money? Again, thank you to Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. If you do not have that Teach pack, I am going to advise you to make sure that you get that Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. 30% off your first order plus a free. You know what? I see a lot of people all the time. All the time. They tell me about, listen, let me tell you about our culture. We love to brag. This is going to be one of them shows. This is going to be a reality check show. Shout out to Cassandra. She said that Love Dorsey interview was everything. A lot of my ladies love that one. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. A lot of y'all, y'all brag about a lot of shit. I brag about a lot of shit. Y'all brag a lot. I don't see nobody, listen, we got the money phone. We got the money phone. We got the car. The car is the flex, right? Y'all even gonna flex your new mortgage. How you gonna flex something that somebody is financing you and you got to pay them interest on? New house? No, that's the bank's house, my nigga. And if you get 3 months behind, that's gonna be theirs permanently. We do a lot of flexing, but we flexing the wrong shit. I don't see nobody flexing a 401k balance. I'm not even going to trip off that. I don't see anybody flexing the fact that they fully funded their 401k. I don't see nobody flexing that. I don't see nobody flexing a savings account. I'm not even an advocate for savings account. I think you should trade that in for a brokerage account. But I don't see nobody flexing their brokerage accounts. I don't see nobody flexing their Roth IRAs. I don't see nobody flexing that shit. How much you keep? I don't see nobody. Listen, the minute that I start to see rappers flex how much that they don't have to pay in taxes versus what it is that they owed, then I'm going to start giving the culture props. I don't want to give, the culture don't get no fucking props for me for how much you can do your money phone. That don't mean shit to me. When you flex how little you pay to the IRS legally, not on no finesse type shit, but legally because you put more into your business and reinvested into yourself and your assets, then we can flex. I don't want to see none of that shit. Until you show me that you fully funded your 401k last year, I don't want to hear shit from you. Don't talk to me about how much money you getting. I want to hear about how much money you keeping. I want to see how much you deferring in your taxes. As a matter of fact, when you really start stunting, then you're going to say, listen, Anton, I got to the point to where I'm not even doing 401ks and TSPs anymore. I'm doing a Roth 401k. What is the difference between a Roth 401k and a regular 401k? Well, you doing already paying the taxes ahead of time so that when you grow in with whatever account that you got it in, your Roth 401k is growing tax-free. So you're not deferring taxes. You paid it ahead of time, and you know that your assets is continuing to accumulate, and there's no way that they're ever going to be able to tax you on that account again. When you get to that point, then flex on me. And I'm going to celebrate you. That's not even going to be a flex. I'm going to celebrate you when you get to that point. And see, look, greatness to work. As usual. As usual. It's always going to be some people. Yeah, pull that. That's coming out. Fucking A. This is crazy. Let's get into the show. We got a lot to go over. The name of the show is called Unemployed. Unemployed. That's the name of the show today. Let me read some of the super chats and then we're going to get it popping. Gangsta Love says, good morning, sir. Did you get my email and join the content every morning? I'm sure I did. If I have not gotten to it yet, it's only because I'm trying to make sure that I get everything set up before I fly over to Tokyo so that you guys don't get any kind of interruptions whatsoever. If I have not replied to you just yet, I am going to get to you. I got to make sure that everything is taken care of so that there's no disruptions and that we fully prepared to have no disruptions while we heading over to Tokyo. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Gangsta Love. I appreciate you. George Martin Jr. says, can you make a Patreon video on how to turn my side hustle into a business? Well, I got to know what your side hustle is so that I can make sure that I'm addressing it appropriately. Send me your side hustle. Shout out to George Martin Jr. I appreciate it. And anybody that has a request for a specific type of video inside of the Patreon, send it to me in the Patreon, and then I'll address that accordingly. Shout out to Miss Crow T. Shetty in the building, always holding me down. I appreciate you. P. Shank is in the building, says, Anton, your attire last night was seriously fire. They don't know nothing about that. They don't know nothing about that Coogee sweater that I got a whole lot of them over there that's sitting pretty. Shout out to Mr. Hightower Jr. Said, blessings, Anton. Thank you. Just re-enrolled back in the school for IT cybersecurity. That's great. Make sure you specialize in something. Here in Connecticut, there's a high demand for cybersecurity engineers. Thank you for directing me to the money. Shout out to Mr. Hightower Jr. I appreciate you, and I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show. Let's get into the show. Before we get into the money, let's make sure that we get to the... I'm trying not to cuss so much. We had a conversation with Mr. Brandon Johnson, and that he brought himself to the front of the congregation, and he said, listen, guys, these are just large gatherings. These are not mobsters. This is not a mob. This is not a flash mob. This is none of that. These are large gathering of young people that need to be policed accordingly, not treated like criminals, even if they do criminal stuff. I said, okay, Mr. Johnson, you use a lot of word salad. You use a lot of big words. I forgot what the word of the day yesterday was. You use a lot of word salad. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on Chicago because I know that there's just a lot of large gatherings that should not be addressed as criminal activity. And so we're going to be very, very careful with our words because we don't want to put ourselves at a disadvantage from being constitutionally policed. Correct? Okay, cool. Well, let's get into the show. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
16 more victims of armed robberies this morning, with an armed robbery spree on the north side and a holdup at a Subway restaurant in Brighton Park. The crimes are mounting, with at least 30 reported in the past few days. CBS 2.
Wait. Let's back up for a minute. Not the last few days, at least 30. 16 more victims of Chicago crime sprees. Because in Chicago, they said the 401k is not a flex. Saving your money and getting to the bag is not a flex. Armed robbery is the new flex in Chicago. Now, according to Mayor Johnson, he said that these are just large gatherings. So I don't want to disrespect what it is that he said because he's stopping you in your tracks when you say that.
2's Tara Molina asking police what's being done to curb the crime, and she has our report tonight.
The armed robbery spree this morning lasted 20 minutes and spanned West Chicago to North Orleans, Westtown to River North. Police say, quote, several offenders in a gray car left 8 armed robbery victims without phones, purses, or wallets. There were 8 more victims in Brighton Park, where 3 armed men hit this Subway, robbing 8 customers at gunpoint, then taking off with a cash drawer with $500 inside.
Think about how ignorant you have to be to put your life on the line. I don't even know how to pronounce that word yesterday. If he don't pronounce it for me, then I don't even know how to obfuscate, something like that. I feel y'all. I'm a C student. I don't even remember how to pronounce the word correctly. How wild does things have to be to where it's 4 or 5 of y'all that go in and rob a Subway? Now, we all know that Subway sandwiches, they not holding a lot of money in the drawer. A lot of people is paying with Apple Pay, Apple Care, right? A lot of people is paying with they mobile device, with their card. You put your whole life on the line with all of these digital devices. All you got to do is do like this one time. They probably got you on camera and they're going to be tapping on your mama's house in order to come and pick you up and put the metal handcuffs on you. $500, man. You willing to crash out and put your entire future. Let's say, for example, you get arrested and you don't even have to do that much time over $500, but you still got that felony on your record. $500 is the cost of your life. Somebody said, well, they might be starving. Cream, you are the reason why our environments are absolutely positively trash. Listen, if you walk up to somebody and you say, hey, can you buy me something to eat? They will take you in that building and buy you something to eat. I do it every day. Every single day, I go and find somebody who I can pay for their groceries. I go into my local grocery store and I just look and I see who it is that seems as though they're doing something nice or that they have a good spirit. They don't have to be black. They don't have to be white. They don't have to look like they got a lot of money, because you can't put a face on somebody that's going through something, and I just want to do something nice for somebody. I'll walk up and I'll pay for somebody's groceries and I'll just walk out. No video camera, no nothing. No recording it, no nothing. People will walk up to you and eat. They will be reluctant to give you money, but they will always buy you something to eat. I have not seen anybody that turns down somebody that says, hey, can you buy me something to eat? I'm hungry. I have never seen somebody walk past somebody that then ask if they to buy them something to eat. If you seriously starving, I have never seen anybody that turns down somebody that asks for something to eat ever in my life. I see people say, no, I'm not giving you no money. I think you're going to use it for drugs. I see people that walk past people every day and say, hey, I ain't got no cash on me. And they definitely don't have no cash on them sometimes, or sometimes they don't have it. They don't have it to give to you. I have never seen somebody that has ever walked past somebody that said that they was hungry and they did not go and buy them something to eat ever in my life. Not one time. Not one time have I ever seen somebody not look out for somebody that said that they was hungry and can you buy me something to eat? You're not going to sell me on that one. You're not going to run in the Victim Olympics on that one. You not going to listen. We got homeless people all across America, and one thing is for sure, and two things is for certain, is that they are not starving. They may be cold. They may be tired. They may have just got done shooting themselves up with some fentanyl, lace, crack, cocaine, whatever they got going on. But one thing is for sure, and two things is for certain, is that you are not going to go hungry here in the United States of America. No, you're not. You put your whole life on the line for $500, not even 5 bands, $500. And you got to split it between 4 other people. So y'all get $100 a piece. Y'all just ran in there and crashed the fuck out for $100 a piece. It's 5 of y'all, 4 culprits. 2 of them put their life on the line. 1 of them left fingerprints on the counter, and you put it all on the line for $500. Wow. Amazing. Of all the places that you went into, you went and robbed a Subway.
The cashier was injured, but we're told he's doing okay. And just hours before, Tuesday night, a delivery driver for this pizzeria in Ashburn was shot in the leg by a man who attempted to rob the place. We mapped out these most recent robberies and the attempted robbery so you can see the spread. But we've tracked 24 more and just told you about it.
Just this week. 24 more just this week. Hold on, let's back that up for a minute. 24 more in addition to the 16 that took place just because you walking down the street at the wrong time. That's 40. 40 armed robberies this week. All over, not just centrally located, not just one location. 40, we playing real life Los Santos GTA. We playing real life GTA out here.
and just told you about a different spree in Logan Square Tuesday, where police told us at least 3 men targeted people on bikes, 5 armed robberies reported in 2 hours. So with the crime spiking, what are police doing about it? We asked Chicago police what proactive and reactive plans are in place addressing this continued problem. No one was available to talk with us. Chicago police tell us their detectives are actively investigating all of these robberies.
And that's cap. And I don't think that they should investigate at all. I think that they should completely remove themselves from the investigative process because we need to make sure that we stop these large gatherings, according to Mayor Brandon Johnson. I think that Mayor Brandon Johnson is more dangerous than Lori Lightfoot. I think that Mayor Brandon Johnson is more dangerous than Lori Lightfoot. You know why? Because he knows how to use bigger words. That's it. He just knows how to use bigger words. He's the cool mayor. He's going to walk around and he's going to make sure he shakes hands at the picnic and he got a fro hawk on the top of his head. And so he's trying to meet the expectation because he can relate to young people. And we're not going to make sure that we label his mob that we're going to do large gatherings. This is such dumb stuff. If I have never seen it before in my life. People are literally prisoners in their own cities and in their own homes. And we are giving more leniency to the criminals than we are giving justice to the families and the people that is being criminal. That all of the criminal activity is being perpetuated against. Wow. 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 Amazing. Amazing. Unreal. Unreal. But that's the space that we live in. These are the cities that you guys are subjecting yourself to. These are the people that you're voting into office. You don't believe in participating in local elections. You believe in participating on a national scale because orange man bad, right? And we got to be able to get our student loans forgiven. And we're going to responsibly, proactively disperse these large gatherings. Man, they over here knocking over old people, robbing subways and running up in your homes. And it's only a matter of time before it starts to spread out. Because the thing about criminals and the thing about crime is that once it becomes a desert and ain't nobody got no money, then they got to start spreading out and being able to affect the other people because they get smarter, they get wiser, they start stealing cars, driving out to your city and your neighborhoods, and they don't even cover their face up anymore because according to what's going on in California, everything is just going to be a free-for-all anyway. The only people that can't have guns is the people that are citizens that need to be able to protect themselves. The only people that don't have guns is the people that's trying to abide by the law because they're not trying to go to jail. Let's continue. Let me read a few of the super chats and then we're going to continue on with the show because we're going to jump around today. We're going to do it in a little bit different of a format and we're going to jump around today. All right. Let's see what we got here. JC Inc. says trading inside one's Roth IRA is a flex and no taxes. You don't even have to trade. All you have to do is find a thing that actually generates the most revenue for you, and then you adjust it according to wherever it is that you are in your life at that time financially and based off of what your age range is. If you got a Fidelity account and your stuff is managed through that, because chances are you do have a Fidelity account, you can set up a meeting with them, a free meeting with them once every so often to where they can point you in the right direction and then allocate or teach you exactly where it is that you need to be from a risk perspective. Because as you get older, you want to mitigate more risk because you have more on the line and you have less time to be able to recover for it. So you have higher returns and you want to take more risks when you're younger because that allows for you to generate more revenue and you have more time to recover for it, whereas you can make the adjustment as you get older to take less risk while still making money on top of your money because you have a bigger nest egg, right? And you can do this for free. You can do it for free. It's not that hard for you to do. And so you don't have to become a day trader. All you got to do is make informed decisions and then continue to put money into it by dollar cost averaging. If you don't know what dollar cost averaging is, make sure you hit me up. I will explain it to you in detail, and it's not that difficult. Shout out to my dog, JC. I appreciate you. Levite Apparel says, Anton, Japanese, konnichiwa. Hi. Shout out to Levi Apparel. I appreciate you. Persevere Data TV is in the building. Says, I guess a house full of roaches is just a large gathering too. I agree. Let's go ahead and stomp them out though. Greatness to Work is in the building. Shout out to Greatness to Work. Says, Anton, I said what I said because the numbers say there was a 36% increase in people pulling their 401ks this year. The rates are alarming, report says. The reason why people are pulling their 401ks is because they're under duress and they're under what they call an emergency. And what people usually do is they do the worst things for themselves. They pay these large, egregious fees. Listen, the worst thing that you can ever do is take an early withdrawal from your 401k. The worst thing that you can possibly do, I don't care what the numbers tell you. Listen to me. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm giving you my personal opinion based off of my own life experiences from all of the different people that I've talked to and coached. The worst thing that you can do is take an early withdrawal from your 401k. You are literally killing yourself if you ever do that. Do not. Under no circumstances, you will recover. You will not be broke forever. You can go and move in your mama's house. I don't care what it is that you do. Do not, under any circumstance, ever take an early withdrawal out of your 401k. Even if you want to borrow from yourself and then pay yourself back, I am even open to that. I don't say you do it because you then removing the power of what it is you have in there in order for you to continue to make money and interest on top of your money. But you do not, under any circumstance, take away from your 401k by doing an early withdrawal. You are literally shooting yourself in the foot. That is possibly, quite possibly, the worst thing that you can do. And if you see people doing it, then you know that it's really, really messed up out here. I want to say effed up, but I'm trying to change my language. I'm working on it. God ain't done with me yet. Do not take all of these early withdrawal penalties, then you got to pay the taxes on it, and then it raises your adjusted gross income, and you just messed up all the way across the board. Somebody said, what if you have the ability to run it up and able to deploy more capital in there than you have before? Fam. I see we got a lot of work to do. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And one of the things we got to do is we got to readjust how it is that y'all think about money. Ain't no running it up. What you think this is? The casino? All right. Let me continue to read the super chats. Let's get into it. Don't do it, Greatness to Work. I appreciate you for the super chat, but do not do it. I don't care what you got to do. Go get a second job. Go get a third job. Go do what you got to do. Do not take an early withdrawal from your 401k or TSP. It is going to be the worst decision that you ever made. Buy someone hungry a coney sandwich or a sandwich from Nikki D's and they'll love you forever. That's a fact. Ain't nobody ever going to go hungry in your city. Smiling Buddha says RoboCop is coming soon and it's a setup. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Smiling Buddha. Thank you. Shin C says, heard mailman getting robbed in Chicago. That's a fact. That's a fact. To the point, one was at work with a bulletproof vest on. Yeah, I did that story yesterday. Make sure you go and rewatch that story, Shin C. I did that whole breakdown yesterday. Cream says crypto rules everything around me. Good luck with that. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to advise my people to invest in cryptocurrency unless I fully understand it all the way. Hassan Malik says the Supreme Court said we can carry in all 50 states now. New Jersey is the same way, and I'm not trying to be a victim. I'm staying with the 40 on me. Let me do a little bit of research on that because I don't want to get myself arrested, and under no circumstances, especially after the Fleece Johnson interview, am I ever going to jail. X Bionics said, Mr. Anton, love tapping in the morning show. I wanted to see, should I worry about investing in a retirement plan while I'm going to college? Hashtag bag chaser. Well, if you are a young man going to college, you do not have to worry about investing into a retirement plan. Once you get a job, then you should at the very least, okay, so here's the key. At the very least, what you need to do is you need to make sure that whatever job you work in, you at least get the match. Because if you don't get the match, then that's free money that you're leaving on the table. The other thing that you need to do while you're getting the match is make sure you're paying off your debt because you don't know what the return is going to be on whatever investment that you want to put your money into, whether it's your 401k or whatever. We don't leave free money on the table and we got to get rid of the debt. And the reason why we got to get rid of the debt, especially stuff like credit card debt, is because we know how much money is flying out the window. We know how much money that we losing because of what we have to pay in interest. So A, never leave free money on the table. At the very least, get the match. And then B, make sure you get rid of the debt because you know how much money that you're leaving on the table. Allie, I don't think I skipped your super chat, but I'm going to go back and read it. I'm going to go back and look just in case. Shout out to X Bionics. I appreciate you for the super chat. Junior VK says they don't know about that ESPP. Y'all know what an ESPP is? Y'all know what an ESPP is? It's basically the equity that you get into the company, and you can buy stock into the company at a lower price, but then it vests over a period of basically a quarter. And so every quarter, as you continue to put money into the ESPP, it has a specific amount that they're saying that you're going to be able to purchase the stock for. Usually it's like 10 to 15% at a discount. And so basically, when you let that money vest over a period of time, you basically get 10 to 15% on top of the money that you invested into it, up to a certain amount, right? That's the ESPP. A lot of people are not familiar with it. I broke that down inside of the Patreon when I was showing y'all my W-2 from how much I made at my position at work. If you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in it. It's called the Employee Stock Purchase Plan. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. David Simpson says, hopefully I can break into the tech field soon. That would definitely get to my year goal. Shout out to everybody that's going into tech, specifically cybersecurity. Let me look at Allie Downing really quick. I want to make sure I didn't miss your super chat because I never like to miss anybody's super chat. I don't see it yet. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. I'm a truck driver. Thank you, Allie Dowling. Says, after research, I've earned $20,000 less net compared to last year this time, but my company wants me to have patience and stay loyal. You need to be loyal to yourself. You need to be loyal to yourself. Nobody is going to take care of you more than you can take care of yourself. Remember that. Nobody is going to take care of you more than you can take care of yourself, all right? Shout out to my dog Ash in the building. Says Brandon Johnson is a progressive. He ran left off of Beetlejuice. She was a typical liberal. Brandon Johnson is a left-wing Marxist educator, and he is very slick with his words. When parents send their children to college, Brandon Johnson is the professor. Wow. And y'all said we need more men teaching these boys. Interesting. I guess we need a specific type of man that's teaching these boys. Shout out to my dog Ash. I appreciate you. Brand says my ESPP paid off my student loans and built my house. Shout out to you, big dog. Shout out to you, big dog. I appreciate the super chat and congratulations for paying off your house and paying off your student loans. Demetrius Shaw said, what stage do you give back? Not a son husband. Give back to what? Demetrius, you so young, you shouldn't even be thinking about this. You got at least another 10, 15, 20 years of pouring into yourself, and your cup runneth over before you can start having conversations about anybody else, right? About anybody else. You don't even think about giving back, especially as a young 20-something-year-old. Man, if you don't get your butt into that college course and take care of your business and go to work and run that checkup, you ain't even in a position to talk about giving back. Giving back to who? Giving back to who? Shh. Let's continue on with the show. We're going to jump around today. Now, one of the reasons why I found this compelling is not necessarily that I'm trying to incentivize you guys to go electric. I got electric cars. I got gas cars. I prefer to drive the electric car. I haven't been to the gas station and I don't know how long. But one of the reasons why this is an important conversation for us to have, because Cadillac unveiled the new Escalade yesterday. But here's the key. It's chock full of technology. It's forward. The reviews that I've seen, because I watch a lot of car channels, the reviews that I've seen said that it was an incredible vehicle and it has great design cues and all of this other type of stuff. And they're going to have the electric Escalade. It's called the Escalade IQ, along with the regular gas powered ones. But here's the key. It starts at $130,000. The new Escalade IQ starts at $130. That's the starting price before you add anything else onto it. It starts at $130,000. I'm doing pretty well in life. My bag chasers, my Patreon members, they know exactly how much I make. I'm doing pretty well in life. When I seen that price tag, I was appalled. I was very much appalled. And I'm like, who is this for? Who is this for? It certainly ain't for you guys. You know why? Because they are completely pricing you guys out. There is going to be a huge gap between those that have and those that don't. Don't worry about it. We're going to get into it. I want you to see what it is that you're looking at first before we start to have this conversation.
When it comes to American luxury, few brands carry that title better than a Cadillac. For the last 120 years, if you were looking for all things American and all things luxury, you were looking at this brand. Now, as the rest of the industry continues to move toward electrification, Cadillac is ready to move alongside with the introduction of their most important EV ever, the 2025 Escalade IQ. It's built on a dedicated Ultium electric vehicle architecture. It offers up to 450 miles of range, up to 350 kilowatts of DC fast charging.
So it offers up to 450 miles of range. Okay, so cool. Now we're getting to the point to where we've solved for range anxiety and all of this other type of stuff, right? Brian B said, not this zesty. Yeah, this is zesty because I tried to find a video that had the least amount of music in order to be able to illustrate my point. I don't really care what it is that he do in his bedroom. The only thing I care about is whether or not this illustrates what it is that I'm trying to convey over to you guys. Redesign, long wheelbase, huge, probably won't even fit inside of your garage. But I bet you didn't know that 1 in every 3 large utility vehicles, SUVs, luxury large utility vehicles, roughly 1 in 3 tend to be an Escalade. Did you know that the last Escalade, the last version of the Escalade, the one that's outgoing now that they're starting to replace it with the new ones, I bet you didn't know that they sold over 1 million of these things. Literally, they have sold over 1 million of the outgoing version of the Escalade. I bet you didn't even know that. And so the question that you start to have to ask yourself is, who the fuck is out here spending this type of money? Because the outgoing one is expensive as fuck, especially if you're talking about the Escalade Platinum. And now they start at $130,000.
And as you can see, it has a design that is bold and brash, exactly what you'd expect from a vehicle with the Escalade badge. So today I'm actually out here in Spring Studios in New York City with the brand new 2025 Escalade IQ. And now that we finally have this vehicle in the sheet metal, let's go ahead and take a first look.
All right, I don't care about all of that. All right, so let me show you the inside now. Here's the back.
Like a bigger version of the Lyric perhaps, but the rear of the car is definitely a little bit more controversial in its design, but it also is instantly distinguishable as a Cadillac with the same kind of bold LED taillight design. That 1000 E4 badge I suspect is probably the Newton meters of torque, where it's 1000, and then the E4 will mean it comes standard with all-wheel drive and dual electric motors. And then of course,
all right, so let's move forward. Let's look at the inside. Hold on, let me see if I can find the inside. Cool. All right, so let's see if we can get to the inside.
The kilowatts on a level 3 DC fast charger. It also has a 19.2 kilowatt onboard charger, which is definitely needed considering the battery capacity. Cadillac says you should at home. Now, sadly, because this is a very early prototype model, I'm not allowed to sit in this vehicle and I can't touch all the components, but I can at least show you guys this interior. And first of all, if you guys thought the exterior was bold and brash, the interior is also very futuristic, very next generation.
I think that the interior is absolutely gorgeous. I think that the interior is absolutely gorgeous. It kind of looks like a version of both of the cars that I got now. My Mercedes S-Class got the one large one that go up like that, except for they have the whole curved display, 35 inches on one side. I don't know how much it is on the other side. The passenger can actually watch movies and stuff like that. I think it's cool. I think it's absolutely dope. 130,000? Fuck. 130 bands starting for an electric vehicle? Insane, bro.
In fact, Cadillac is basically giving a middle finger to the Mercedes-Benz Hyperscreen, because what you're seeing here is a 55-inch, that's right, 55-inch curved display that stretches basically from the driver's side all the way over to the passenger side. As you can see, it's comprised of two different screens. This is, of course, going to be using the latest software from Cadillac. They said they actually partnered with Qualcomm Tech to develop the software for it. It'll have Google integration kind of built in. However, as you guys heard, GM is also doing away from Apple CarPlay, which I'm assuming this model will also do away from that. They're saying that the software with Google is going to basically replace that. But if you guys have seen this interior before, if it looks familiar, it's because they basically took it out of the Celestiq, which is their uber luxury $340,000 hand-built luxury EV. So you can see
Cadillac is building a $340,000 EV. Interesting.
Here with the two screens, it really, again, gives it a futuristic look. You also have another screen over here, which I believe measures 11 inches, where you can control all your usual functions for the vehicle. That screen also is tilted upward. The steering wheel, you can see it has a version of Cadillac's latest Super Cruise. If you guys are thinking this would have Ultra Cruise, technically the Celestiq will have Ultra Cruise first. That's kind of next gen over Super Cruise, but this again is still one of the best hands-free driving systems you're gonna.
I actually know one of the engineers that worked on this over in Warren, here in Warren, Michigan. Let's break this down. I want to show you something really quickly. All right. I want to get into something really quickly. I want to show you and break this down for you so you can understand the difference between what's going on and what's about to happen in your lives. Cadillac Escalade IQ is finally here, riding on a bespoke platform powered by General Motors Ultium EV powertrain and batteries. The $130,000 Escalade IQ looks distinctly different than a traditional. $130,000 look distinctly different than the original. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's $130,000. That's a whole house. Whatever it was that your parents and your grandparents had bought, now you got to drive it. And a depreciating asset. That's it. Get used to it. You're going to be living in your car. Get used to it. Starting off at $130,000, you're probably going to be paying about $160,000 by the time you leave the dealership with taxes, possibly dealer markups, depending on when it is that you buy it. And then you got to pay for the insurance. Your tags is probably going to cost somewhere around, depending on where you live, maybe $600-$700 every year. Insurance is going to be out of fucking control because how it is that they insure electric vehicles is much different than how it is that they. Yo, look, I have 4 cars. I got the Porsche. I have and it's the electric Taycan. I also have the Mercedes, the S-Class. I have the Tesla. And I have the Hyundai, which is my personal vehicle. All right. I got the Hyundai Tucson. You guys picked it inside of the Patreon. That's what it is that we bought. All right. Here's the thing. I pay, about $1,400 a month in insurance on all my vehicles? Yep. I pay about $1,400 a month in insurance on all of my vehicles. I can't even imagine what the insurance is going to be on the Lamborghini. I can't even imagine what the insurance is going to be on a Lamborghini, right? You buy a few $1 million house, you're going to be paying the equivalent of about $80,000 a year in property taxes. Significantly more if you go over to Texas, Florida, or even Chicago. Significantly more if you go into any of these states that have no income tax because they got to make up for it in other things. You're going to be paying an egregious amount in property taxes. What am I trying to convey to you guys? This is nice. Awesome screens. It's going to be some girls that get it. It's going to be some guys that celebrate it. They're going to be stunting on y'all. They're going to be riding on y'all. And they're going to be telling y'all how you ain't shit if you ain't getting one, right? What am I trying to tell y'all? What am I trying to tell y'all? I'm trying to tell you that if you don't divest yourself until you can actually justify buying it and then your assets pay for whatever your luxuries are, if you don't divest yourself from this lifestyle, you're going to forever be broke. And this question that I asked you in the beginning of the live stream when I said, how much are you keeping versus how much are you making? You will never, ever be able to close that gap. You will never, ever be able to close the gap. And the one thing that I know about our culture specifically is that we got to have a nice car. We got to have a ride. Listen, if you don't have a ride, in our opinion, you're not even rich. They don't care how much money you're making. They don't care how much money you're bringing in. If you don't have a ride, if you're not riding clean, then you're not rich. If you don't live in a 4,000, 5,000 square foot house, you are not rich. If you did not move down to Miami, where all of the insurance companies are pulling out because literally in parts of Miami that they're already under or at basically the same as sea level, and we know that they're going to start getting washed out as sea level rises. If you don't live in Miami down here with the rappers and DJ Khaled, sucks for you. You're not rich. If you don't have a money phone, if you're not riding around with a bust down watch and then a bunch of lab grown diamonds inside of your chain, then you're not rich. The new rich is the people that then understand that they don't have to justify themselves for people that don't give a fuck about them anyway. The new rich is people that don't have to justify themselves for people that don't give a fuck about them anyway. You're going to have, if you're ever going to get anything, you cannot do both at the same time. You're going to have to pick a struggle. Either you're going to struggle with the idea that people are going to criticize you for stuff that they don't even know or give a fuck about in the first place, and then run your check up and run your bag up and keep the majority of the money because you know what it is that you got going on, or you're going to have to live on the other side of that, right? You're going to have to live on the other side of it where you're going to get in this rat race. You're going to continue to run the debt up because the debt is at like 1.5 trillion or more, right? Something like that. Credit card debt specifically. And you're going to have to continue to run in this rat race, and that you're going to have to always try to impress people that have no vested interest in what your life is supposed to be like or your success. At some point, if you ever want to break away from the rat race, you're going to have to make a decision that A, I do not care about what these other people think. They do not live with me. They don't have to pay my bills, and they're never going to have to. They're not even going to be around when I retire. Or B, you can continue to run in a rat race and impress hoes that was going to give it away to the dude that they liked anyway for free. At some point, you're going to have to make a decision. The choice is yours. I'm going to continue to read Super Chat shortly, but I just wanted to tap in and give y'all a little bit of an update. Let's switch over really quickly. Stephan. I'm always compelled when I see, and I pay attention, right? I pay attention because I see the rise. I see the different people that come. I see the different people that go. I see when people really, really hit the scene and they take off because they hit a niche and they doing really, really well with their content that they got going on. And then when I see them start to trail off or fall off a little bit, I'm always interested in what the hell is going on behind the scenes. Did they decide that they made enough money? Did they get burned out? Do they not want to continue to work as hard? Did they find a girl that they like and then they start to spend more time with her? What does that look like? What does that look like? Well, now we're going to kill two birds with one stone with this next one, okay? Because we all know who Stephan is. Stephan is the financial guy that talked about credit cards and real estate and all of this other type of stuff. And he's been around, right? You say you don't know who this man is? Well, he has millions of subscribers, multiple different platforms, and he's made a lot of videos with regard to finances, stock market, all of that, right? All of that. And so most people know who Stephan is. Most people know who Stephan is. And so most of the time, most people make whatever adjustments that they have made in the background, but they don't necessarily talk about it out loud. It just starts to happen. You see them upload less, you see different things change. They might have a girl in their life, all of that. But we're going to kill two birds with one stone with this one, because the first thing that we want to talk about is unemployment. And then the second thing we want to talk about is marketing yourself. Don't worry about it. We're going to get there. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is a former employee that used to work for Stephan. Let's get into it, y'all.
Well, guys, this is a tough video to make, but I'm unemployed. Now, for those of you that are new here, about 3 years ago, I was living in Milwaukee, Wisconsin with my now wife, Kelsey, and I was working from home at a bank. In my free time, I decided to start making content about photography and videography on TikTok and on YouTube. And that's
So let's back up for a minute. He was working from home at a bank. I didn't say Graham did anything yet. We're going to break it down now. He said he was working from home at a bank. Let's continue.
That's when I stumbled upon a video by Stephan, who's one of the largest finance creators here on YouTube. He said he was looking for an assistant just to do a couple miscellaneous tasks here and there. And if you wanted to apply, you had to make a video. So I quickly got to work making a video, and the next day Graham reached out and said he wanted to meet me here in Vegas. After calling in sick to work, I flew out here and spent 2 days working with Graham to see how we meshed. We immediately became really good friends, and he offered me the job. So I asked my wife if she wanted to move to Vegas, and without hesitation, she said yes. So we took everything that we owned, put it into a truck, hauled our car behind it, and moved across the country so that I could pursue my dream career, which is working in YouTube.
Let me ask y'all a question. How much would you give up of your life, or what kind of adjustments would you make in order to pursue whatever your dream job is? SMF says, can someone explain to me what a money phone is? It's basically when you take a whole bunch of money and you put it in a brick and you hold it up to your ear and you act like you're talking on the phone. How much of your life would you upend, and what kind of adjustments would you make in order to pursue your dreams? There's no wrong answer. It's no wrong answer. You could pursue your dreams and going out and working for whoever it is that you want to work for. You can pursue your dreams and go and try to find your dream job. A lot of people went over to Hollywood in order to become an actor, and now I'll be seeing them pissing on the side of the road, because if you walk down the Hollywood Walk of Fame, it's absolutely positively one of the most disgusting roads that I've ever been down, right above Kensington Road, in my opinion. If you walk down the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I flew over there when I shot the Dr. Phil show, right? They put me up in a phenomenal hotel over at the Dr. Phil show. And they gave me a stipend of what it is that I want to spend. And so I didn't have a whole lot of time because I was shooting content for YouTube and I was still running my own shows and everything like that, right? But I flew out there, went and shot the Dr. Phil show. I kept y'all up to date on what it is. Y'all thought that it was a phenomenal show or whatever like that. But then I walked down the Hollywood Walk of Fame where they got the stars and stuff like that. It was awful. It was one of the most awful places that I had ever seen in my entire life. It was absolutely awful. It smelled like piss. It was 100,000 Michael Jacksons. Most of them didn't even look like Mike. Most of them just had an afro. I didn't know if they was the new Mike or the old Mike. It was awful. I asked one guy, what is it that he came out there, or was he a transplant? Did he ever move out there? He said he went out there in order to pursue acting. I said, what happened? He said he never became an actor. He said he had a small bit in one movie before, but then he wound up being on the street, and so now he was a Michael Jackson. He said he was thinking about becoming Spider-Man next. He said he was thinking about becoming Spider-Man. He said there was too many other Michael Jacksons out there, and he couldn't compete with the other Michael Jacksons because his knees was getting a little bit older. And so he was thinking about becoming Spider-Man. I said, well, you shouldn't become a Spider-Man. That's going to be even more taxing on your body. He said, well, what do you think I should be, Anton? I said, I think you should be a Transformer. Go and be Bumblebee. You should be Bumblebee. I got the footage. You want me to release the footage? I said, then all you got to do is walk around and transform a little bit. Say hi to the kids, and then you'll fit right in with the lady boys. You'll fit right in with the lady boys. He said, it's too many Michael Jacksons. He said he was thinking about being Spider-Man. I said, bro, you should be Transformer. You'll fit right in with the alphabet community out here. Governor Gavin Newsom will advocate for you. Obama will write a letter on your behalf. And you don't have to do nothing except wave to the kids. It is what it. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get back into the show. Messy mathematician keeps saying that I keep being distracted. Don't worry about it. We're going to get into it. All right. So for those of you that's just getting in, the young man applied to work for Graham Stephan because he wanted to do the creative stuff for Graham. He picked up, he told his wife, or he asked his wife that they want to move. They moved over to Las Vegas. They packed up everything, put their car in. He quit his job at the bank working from home. I don't know why he would do that. I would still be working from home from the bank. Get both bags. Why you quitting your job? I don't understand that. Before we continue with this video, why do y'all be quitting y'all jobs? Why can't y'all do both? How come you can't pursue your dreams, pursue your hustle, start your business while still working at your job? Especially for those of y'all that work from home. Why is it so difficult for y'all to do both? I don't understand that. Why you can't do both? I'm going to quit my job working from home and I'm going to move all the way across the country. Well, if you can move all the way across the country and they still got Wi-Fi over there, why are you quitting your job? Do both. But let's continue.
I was one of those people who was obsessed with YouTube as a kid. And the fact that I got the opportunity to be able to pursue it with a large creator was amazing. In my 3 years with Graham, I went from an assistant to filming, to editing, to producing, to doing title and thumbnail strategy. Basically everything that you can think of, I helped with. I got to film with some creators I've always wanted to work with, film with some celebrities I've always looked up to, and even in places that I had never dreamed of, like the tallest and most expensive listing in the world. And time again, I use these opportunities to be able to prove myself and my skills and gain more experience. There's definitely a lot to running a YouTube channel that I think we as the audience don't think about, and it's time-consuming and really hard work. But truth be told, it is one of my passions. I absolutely love it, and I would love to continue working in the space.
One thing he said that a lot of people skip over: becoming a content creator, a YouTuber, whatever it is that you got going on, is incredibly hard. A lot of people think that they could just start a channel, they can start talking about whatever it is they want to talk about because they don't have the ability to really be able to create content on their own. Then they go over there and they just say, well, I'm going to do a bunch of panels all the time and I'm going to just have a whole bunch of people up on the panel and they think that they're going to become successful that way. It does not work like that. It does not work that way. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. It does not work that way. Being successful when it comes to content creation is incredibly hard, and a lot of people do not understand it. Being a content creator is it is one of the most difficult things that the over 99.9% of most people that become content creators are not successful as content creators. He's telling you, it's one of the hardest things that he's ever done. However, he's dedicated to it and he wants to continue to do it. So he moved all the way across the country. He's done some incredible work. He's filmed with Graham Stephan, all of that other type of stuff. And so he's saying that he wants to continue to do it.
Graham and I became really good friends and I learned so much from him, and we still are good friends. I don't want you guys to think that there's any bad blood or anything. You may be asking yourself, well, Alex, if your job was so great, like what happened? Well, when I initially joined Graham, we were posting so much. We were posting 3 videos on the main channel, 3 videos on the second channel, 1 podcast, and I was running the entire vlog channel by myself as well. That's over 1 video a day, and if you count the clips, I mean, it was even more. We were so busy, and there was only 3 of us. But the space on YouTube has changed, and so has the trajectory of Graham's life and channel. I'm not here to talk about Graham or to speak for him, but what I can say is that he's definitely been traveling a lot more with his fiancée, Macy.
Let me rewind that really quickly.
Talk about Graham or to speak for him, but what I can say is that he's definitely been traveling a lot more with his fiancée Macy, and the amount of videos that we've been posting on the main channel have definitely gone down. So
let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask you a question. It's a couple different things that we want to mine out as we have in this conversation. He said, listen, I'm not here to talk about Graham, which basically is code word for I don't want to burn bridges and I don't want to say anything negative about him. Me and Graham were best buds. We were working close together. I did basically every single thing on the channel. We was sweatshopping this shit up. We was posting 3 videos on this channel, 3 videos on that channel, 1 video on this channel, 1 video on this channel. We was doing clips and we was doing all of that other type of stuff, right? He said, but the one thing I can say is that Graham don't post much no more. He be out here chilling with his chick. He traveling with his fiance. He not really into doing content as much as he used to or whatever. Question. Because I don't think he's throwing shade at all. See? I don't think that he's throwing shade at all. What I think is that he's basically just detailing to you exactly what Graham has already communicated without saying it directly. Listen, Graham has been chilling with his fiance. He travel a lot. He not really interested in working as hard as he used to because now he being able to spend some time with his chick. Couple different questions that I want to ask y'all. Some of us men specifically, because we all in different spaces in our life, but some of us men, is nothing that you're going to do to be able to stop me. There's nothing that you can do that's going to stop me from doing what it is that, like, no woman. It is so normal for women to say, hey, I want to spend more time with you. I want to be able to have some fun with you. I want to make sure that we, if you ask any woman, what is it that you want? They're going to always say more time with you. I don't have it to give you. I don't have it to give you. You're going to have to catch me when you catch me. You're going to have to fly with me when you fly with me. You're going to have to be able to spend your time with me when I'm available. I will make availability on the weekend. That's when we do family time. But during the week, I am a hustler. I am a grinder, right? So the question that I have to ask y'all is, do women inherently slow you down? Do y'all think that women slow you? Do you think that Graham made the adjustment because he has a woman in his life? Listen, I don't give a fuck how much money Graham made. That don't make no difference to me. I don't care how much money I made. I want more. If I made $1 billion, I want 5. My purpose on this earth is not necessarily just the bag. My purpose on this earth is to extract as much as I fucking can out of this earth and to leave it in a better space had I not been here. I am not in the mood to ever slow down just because I have a woman in my life. And if I slow down just because I have a woman, then that is a problem. That is a huge problem. No way, no how am I ever going to slow down because I have a woman in my life. That is not the determining factor for whether or not I'm going to slow down. Let me ask you another question. When you start to lose your edge when it comes to running your business, being a creator or whatever like that, and you start to lose your momentum, can you really get it back? Can you really get it back? Do you have the same enthusiasm as when you first started doing it? Do you have the same grit, grind, hustle? Do you really know what it means to get back into the mud once you really want to get back, if you decide that you ever want to get back? Do you have the same grit and grind that you had before to continue to churn out content and information the way that you was before? That hustle. I will tell you, I've never slowed down. The only thing that I've ever done is ramp up. The only thing that I've ever done is ramp up. I have never slowed down. From the time that I started, from a business perspective, from a content creator, the whole 9 yards, I have never, ever, not 1 week can you point to that you say Anton has ever slowed down. Not once. The only time that I slowed down a little bit is when we had somebody flash over on the Lapeef channel and we had to make the adjustment with regard to that. But even then, we started working even harder than we had before because we we about to build this shit up and build a whole nother one. I have never slowed down. I have always been all gas, no brakes when it comes to this grind. I'm just built different. I think it's very, very difficult to regain what it is that you had when you decide to get back into it. You got to remain competitive. One of the things that he said that a lot of people is not taking into consideration, he said the dynamics of the content creation game has changed. Y'all missed that part. We only caught the part where he was talking about his girl. Let me rewind it a little bit for you.
We were posting so much. We were posting 3 videos on the main channel, 3 videos on the second channel, 1 podcast, and I was running the entire vlog channel by myself as well. That's over 1 video a day, and if you count the clips, I mean, it was even more. We were so busy, and there was only 3 of us. But the space on YouTube has changed, and
But the space has changed. So you pivot, you make adjustments, you extract it differently. You leverage what it is that you have in order to create new aspects and new vehicles and new businesses, and you get inspired. You use other things to keep that carrot in front of your face. I've never slowed down. Never slowed down. Ever. Not once. We only ramp up. And I think it's something to be inherently in you. Inherently in you. It's just got to be inherently in you. Love C says Graham's content was getting a little boring. I silenced his notifications. Look. The one thing about me, whether you like me or hate me, you cannot fucking miss me. When you turn on your YouTube, you gonna see Anton in some motherfucking capacity. You gonna see me talking about this. You gonna see me talk about that. It's gonna be some relationship shit over here that I'm talking about. It's gonna be some money stuff over here. Some popular culture stuff over here. You can't go more than an hour and a half without seeing something new from Anton Daniels. And that has been in flight for a long fucking time now. I'm not going to go over what it is that my strategies are. I'm not going to talk about my work ethic. This ain't about me because we're about to go into a different aspect of this video. But my point is that I'm all gas, no motherfucking brakes. If you going to compete, then you're going to have to really fucking compete when it comes to competing out here in this content creation streets, because ain't nothing that can stop you. Ain't nothing that can slow me down. If you at any point, my homie, I got a really good friend of mine. He said, Anton, you a talking motherfucker. He said, my most valuable asset is my voice, in my opinion. My most valuable asset is my voice. He said, Anton, you a talking motherfucker. You goddamn right I'm a talking. I could talk for 24 hours straight and never, ever miss a beat. It can go on a whole nother 24 hours with a completely different subject if I wanted to. It's just in me. It's just got to be in you. And then you combine it with the grind, you got to get it.
so has the trajectory of Graham's life and channel. I'm not here to talk about Graham or to speak for him, but what I can say is that he's definitely been traveling a lot more with his fiancée, Macy, and the amount of videos that we've been posting on the main channel have definitely gone down. So the whole channel was run by just Graham and I, and we were posting 3 finance videos a week for your entertainment.
I hope he was paying you that bag. I pay my people that bag. My people be begging for work. Hey, Anton, what you got next up for me? What you got next up for me? They be trying to keep me on my toes. I surround myself with people that keep me on my toes.
And between 2 people, that's a lot of finance videos to make. There were definitely late nights where I had to push because I got the video at 9 p.m. and we got to get it out by like noon. And
why you editing on that little computer though? Jesus, Graham, buy your people some real equipment, man. Hold on.
Nights where I had to push because I got the video.
Fam, get him a monitor or something. Get him. This man can work. I'm about to contact him. Give me a second. Let me find out.
At 9 p.m. and we got to get it out by like noon. And those were definitely some hard times, but I've learned so much through that. But as time progressed, we went down and down in the amount of videos that we were making. We quickly went from 3 videos a week to 2 videos a week to 1 video a week. The majority of my time.
They quickly went from 3 videos a week to 2 videos a week to 1 video a week. Damn.
On a weekly basis was spent editing and producing and also doing title and thumbnail strategy with Graham. And
this dude was doing everything. Titles, thumbnails, editing, shooting. He had to at least be making $100,000 a year. He had to at least make $100,000 a year. He was going editing, title, shootings, all of that. Graham was like, listen, one thing about Graham is that he operated efficiently. He said, I need 1 man to do everything.
Since we basically got down to 0 to 1 videos a week, there was not as much work. So because of that, I'm no longer going to be working full-time with Graham, but if he needs some help on the weekends to shoot something or he wants to just hang out, definitely we're still going to be doing that, and we're still really good friends. That being said though, I am open to new opportunities and I would love to join a team or work closely with a creator to really grow a channel out, just like I did with Graham. If you want to see some of my favorite work that I did while working with Graham, I'll link it down below.
I'm looking to acquire talent. I'm looking to acquire talent. This man looked like he seemed as though he's really passionate about this and that he could really be able to have his services swallowed up by somebody that can leverage the things that he's done for Graham. Maybe he could do it for me. I look at this as an opportunity. This is talent right here. This man knows what he's doing, and this is talent. I see an opening.
I would love to find something that's super fulfilling to me and be able to take.
No, he didn't just put some food up there when it says super fulfilling. Sir.
I'll link it down below. I would love to find something that's super fulfilling to me.
And he got jokes. Okay, I like his sense of humor. And he got jokes. And he'll work on a little computer. Okay, cool.
And be able to take these skills that I've built over the last 3 years and put them to good use and build up even more. I have experience from shooting and editing to title and thumbnail strategy and organizing the back end of a YouTube business. I'm also the tech guy, so I ran our servers to be able to store and send files between Graham and the team. And I've also designed many creator and podcast studios like the Iced Coffee Hour. I also did one for Spencer Cornelia and a bunch of others. So I love design and I love tech. Like I said, so if you're a creator or you know somebody who could really use my help, let me know. I definitely want to do something that I'm passionate about. And yeah, you probably need a way to contact me, so I'm going to put my email right here. Feel free to send me an email. And
info at alexandernava.com. All right, let's continue.
we can connect or reach out to me on Instagram. I will also put that right here. While I look at opportunities that would really be fulfilling to me, in the meantime, I am going to be uploading a lot more to this channel. I know it's a lot overdue, and I'm sorry that I haven't uploaded as much as I should. I really love woodworking and I love making stuff. I also like photography and video, so expect some of that on the channel, though I think I am going to get into my garage a lot more and create some things.
So, what are we learning here? What this really is a resume video. Jesse is funny. What this really is a resume video. Now, a lot of you are familiar with how it is and why it is that I joined YouTube in the first place, and how it is that I tell you guys that you are the brand and you have to learn how to market yourself effectively. This is not about Graham. That's the headline. Like, that's the thing that gets you in the door. What this really is this is an opportunity for you to understand exactly where the market is going. In order for you to really leverage marketing yourself in order to get to the positions that you really need to get to, because there's no way that I would have ever discovered this guy. If somebody else is able to poach him before I'm able to poach him, then there's no other way for me to be able to leverage finding out who this guy is, unless he's willing to A, be courageous enough to market himself and put himself out there, and then B, he's able to leverage the technologies and social media correctly, because this is really what social media was for. Social media was for you to be able to leverage it in order to be able to level up when it comes to doing things from a business perspective. One of the reasons why I got into YouTube in the first place is because it allowed for me to be able to separate myself when it came to how it was that I market myself in corporate America in order to get to certain levels, right? I was recruited as a result of a lot of my videos that people then said, hey, I like your personality, so on and so forth. Nowadays, it's a little bit different because my content is a little bit more controversial. But the two reasons that I got into YouTube in the first place was to A, market myself effectively, and then B, be able to document my life. And so you have to think of more creative ways to be able to put yourself in the view and leverage a talent, or be able to reach more people as far as what it is that you do great, to then give yourself a better leg up against the competition and the opportunities that's then going to be available for you. If you are not taking advantage of this, if you are not looking at what it is he just put together, as basically a video resume for people to be able to reach out to him. And then he's probably, I guarantee you, he's going to make a significant more amount of money as a result of this video. Whatever it was that Graham was paying him, it's not going to be what it is that he's going to make going forward. Whatever it is that Graham is paying him or was paying him is not going to be even remotely comparable to what it is that he's going to make going forward, because he learned and he's effectively leveraging both the relationship and what it is that he does great in order to put himself in a position to get a better opportunity. That's why we do what we do here on the Millionaire Morning Show, because it always comes back down to the money. In every single situation, it always comes back down to the money. All right? And if you don't think that I'm sending him an email to figure out what it is that he does great, and listen, I don't even need you to necessarily have to move over here to where it is that I am. You can stay where you at. You ain't even got to move. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So this is dope. This is dope. You don't just want to have a resume. A lot of you guys seen a sample resume that I gave to you guys. Matter of fact, I'll upload that this week. I'll convert that over into a more better format for you guys to be able to make the adjustments with. A lot of you guys are familiar with the template that I showed you inside of the Patreon that I use in order to get certain contracts that then we're able to leverage in order to give other people positions and jobs. I don't want to go into too much detail because that was a life hack that you guys really, really liked. I'll upload that this weekend into the Patreon. But more importantly, you have to learn how to market yourself better than just the resume that you send in on Indeed to whoever it is the recruiter is that is then telling you that they have a position for you, okay? Yes, you can use your Instagram. Clean that shit up. Yes, you can use social media and make a video. Yes, you need to learn how to market yourself effectively because you are the brand. The first thing that I look at when somebody sends me a resume, I don't give a fuck about that resume. I'm going straight to their social media to see who they are because I need to understand how it is that you're marketing yourself and what you're really like in real life. And this is absolutely beautiful. I thought that this was a phenomenal video, one of the best videos that I've seen so far. And it's awesome. It's awesome. So let me read a few super chats and then we're going to continue on with the show. Shout out to Greg Charlie says, what up, Anton? How many cars does that insurance include? And do you rent any of them on Turo? I do not rent any of my cars on Turo. I have 4 cars and I pay somewhere like $1,300, $1,500 a month or something like that. It automatically comes out on my card. But yeah, a lot of it is the fact that I got 2 electric cars on there. That 2 of the cars cost well over $100,000. And, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. I pay a lot of insurance, but that's the cost that come with having nice things and nice cars. You know what I'm saying? Ash says, I bought my mom and wife a brand new car, paid off. I just drive my 18-wheeler truck for now. I am GTG. Shout out to my dog. Ash is in the building. I appreciate you, Ash. Young Capsule says, hey, Anton, if I wanted to start a cleaning business, what should I be thinking about from a business perspective? Thanks for all that you do. What type of cleaning business are you talking about? Are you talking about a business that you go into people's houses and clean? Are you talking about cleaning a car? Are you talking about all of that? Really, all you need is the ability to be able to social media, all of the tools that you need. You probably need a vacuum, obviously, and all of that other type of stuff. Set up your LLC, get your tax ID or EIN. And then you have to learn how to market yourself. The most important thing when it comes to business is marketing yourself. All of the rest of the stuff you can figure out. You can figure out what tools that you need. I know a guy that started a construction company and he'll tell you. He said he quit a job. He had a hard hat and a hammer and he started a construction company. The dude is one of the biggest builders that I know. Now, I don't know how true that is because obviously he's much older than I am. But that's the story that he tells. And he said that he figured it all out on his own. But the way in which he was able to get the jobs was to able to market himself more effectively. So you have to learn how to market yourself above anything. All of that other stuff and all of the business plan and everything like that, you can figure that out. If you can learn how to market yourself and then more importantly, sell yourself to customers, because people do things because they like you and not necessarily just because you got the best product and because you're consistent. That'll be the thing that separates you from your competition. Shout out to Young Capsule. I appreciate you for the 10 ball. Thank you for holding me down. Brock is in the building, says, look, you can't listen to messy mathematician all the time. The distractions are what make the show. I support your adult ADHD time dog. Shout out to my dog, Brock. in the building. I appreciate you. Cliff Williams is up here. Says the interesting thing is Anton, that when they do get the time they want, they spend it complaining about all the time you couldn't spend with them. That means that I just need to keep on doing what it is that I'm doing and let them find me, right? You know what I'm saying, Cliff? Smiling Buddha says, yes, sir, just turned 59 yesterday. Anton worked 3 jobs and 2 businesses. I remember 41 all gas, no brakes. I threw the no brakes part in there. Thank you, my friend, Smiling Buddha. I appreciate you, big dog. Billanico. Let me put on my Billanico hat. Billanico is in the building. Shout out to Billanico. Says, saw it for myself in person at the NY meetup. Anton was going from person to person, talking and controlling the room nonstop. I was impressed. Thank you to Billanico. I appreciate you for observing that and then giving me some kind words. Yes, I do work the room. Yes, when I walk into the room, I am the spark. I am the life of the party. I'm the person that's going to be standing on tables and kissing babies and shaking hands and loving on y'all. So if you have not had the opportunity to meet me in person, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Shout out to my dog, Billanico. Yvette, my love, says Anton, helping change lives. Keep up the good work, big bro. Shout out to you, Yvette. Met Yvette a lot of times. That is my homegirl. Shout out to my girl, Yvette. I appreciate you for holding me down, love. Brock says, man, we've learned that capitalism is awesome. Facts. Electrician 480 is in the building, says, yo, Anton, time for the Teach commercial break. The likes are on life support. What the fuck? Gotta go to the Teach commercial? Okay, hold on. Let me see what we got going on here. What is going on? It's over 1,500 people in here. It's over 1,500 people in here. Make sure you... Is this what we doing? We got to go over to the Teach. 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Is that what we doing today? Come on, y'all. Y'all know to get the likes up at the very least. I don't ask for much except for to get the likes up. Shout out to Electrician 480 for bringing that to my attention. Life of Devontae says, hey, Anton, did some deep self-work and shadowed a dentist as I wanted to pursue dentistry beforehand. Decided to switch to SWE and an online program and start September 1st. Can't wait to reach out when I finish for mentorship. Shout out to Life of Devontae. I appreciate you for that Super Bowl. Let me get one more in the building. Says, Levite Apparel, Anton, is it legal to give away money on YouTube? Hell yeah, it's legal to give away money on YouTube. I can give away what I want. I did a whole Christmas show where I gave away like $10,000. It was like 20. I don't remember. It was a lot of money. I gave away a whole 12 days of Christmas. I was giving away the bag out here in these streets. Shout out to you. Let me continue on with the show. Again, make sure you guys hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. If you have not tapped into the Patreon already, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Candace Owens. Me and Candace Owens are starting to have a little bit of a love-hate relationship. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why me and Candy, just like Candace, I can see you when you walk. Me and Candace Owens are starting to have a little bit of a love-hate relationship. Because I think that Candace, although she makes some phenomenal points, I think that she's a little bit extreme in her views, and I don't know if she's just doing it for entertainment or if she really believes some of the stuff that she's saying. For example, when she did Steven Crowder, you know what I'm saying? That was a little bit vindictive. When she broke down what was going on at LeBron James' school, I agree with her with the fact that it was culture, but at the same time, you can't hold LeBron James accountable for him pouring money into his community. Me and Candace, I can see you when you walk. Shout out to Aaron. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. Me and Candace had a love-hate relationship. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, Candace decides that she wants to highlight a specific teacher that was operating with racial hatred in their hearts. And I have not seen this yet, but the people pointed this out and they sent it to me, so I want to go over this. The name of the show is called Unemployed today. All right? Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. Let's get into the video.
So the rise of black supremacy is a thing. You always hear about the rise of white supremacy. In fact, I actually once testified in front of Congress over the rise of white supremacy. I'm going to be very much actually willing to bet that there's no such thing as a hearing on the rise of black supremacy, even though it's surrounding us. What is black supremacy? Well, as we just discussed in monologue, it's the idea that you should literally be able to go out as a black person and shoot somebody and you shouldn't have to face any consequences, or you should maybe at most a couple of years in prison. But why on earth would you have to face 10 years in prison? That's ridiculous. Why on earth? If you're a dad, that seems completely wrong. Black supremacy is the idea that an Asian officer, as we just discussed, should have to go to prison for 4 years and 9 months because he did his job by holding the crowd back. The idea of black supremacy is the idea that George Floyd, after taking 4 times the lethal amount of fentanyl, should still be alive and walking around. And even though he died, that he belongs on murals and that children should be wearing his face on T-shirts despite what he's done to people in the past. What are some things that he's done? Oh, well, remember the time that he held a gun to a woman's abdomen while her young child was in the room and robbed her place. Nobody cared.
But see, this is why I'm saying that me and her have a love-hate relationship. Now she's talking about, and she's going to go into the idea that a racist black woman was fired from her job. And she's illustrating that black supremacy is a thing because we prioritize and we highlight people in a positive light that actually has done negative things in their lifetime. But this is a disingenuous argument, right? And I have to be objective because although I do like Candace Owens and I largely agree with a lot of the things that she says, I absolutely disagree with a lot of the things that she says in the way that she says them. For example, just because George Floyd specifically, and I don't believe that we should have been protesting about it and making it a racial thing. However, I'm not going to objectively say that George Floyd should have been dead or that he should not have had a knee on his neck. He shouldn't have had a knee on his neck. Now, I don't think that was a racial thing. I think that was an individual police officer thing. But it doesn't mean that we have to talk about how trash he was in the rest of his life because he never should have been in a position to where he had a knee on his neck in the first place. It's a it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I hated the fact that we tore up our own fucking neighborhoods and we use this in order to continue to make it a black-white thing when it didn't have anything to do with other white people. This was a police officer that was doing something that was wrong, never should have had his knee on his neck, especially for that amount of time. And the fact that he did whatever he did in his past and he paid whatever he paid to society and he was back free has nothing to do with the situation that was at hand. And this is the problem that I have, is that you can't demonize a whole person that then died. You can't demonize a person that then died in order to say, yo, this was a bad guy. The police officer should have never had his knee on his neck. Two things can be true at the same time. We don't need to make this a race thing. This was an individual thing as far as the police officer and George Floyd specifically. But at the same time, he should have never had the knee on his neck in his first place for that long. And I don't like this. Why not just address the issue at hand specifically that you're trying to highlight? And this kind of like takes away from what it is that I could rock with. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, why the fuck we still talking about George Floyd? Why is that necessary? Why is that necessary? Who on the face of this earth has never done anything in a life? And so if you die, is it fair that they then bring up all of the things that you did in your past in order to try to justify a point? I don't like that shit, man. I genuinely don't like it. That's the thing that I don't like. That's that shit I don't like.
It doesn't matter because the concept of black supremacy, which is rotting people's minds at this moment, has been created by a consistent and insistent mainstream media narrative that actually white supremacy is everywhere. And black Americans, therefore, can act however they want to deal with these trying times. So we talked about that yesterday, a stunning example. I basically put a challenge to you guys. Did somebody find me a video that is more racist than the one that I'm about to show you? And I showed you an example of a teacher, turns out a first grade teacher in Texas, who just boldly went on the internet and started recording videos of herself and sharing screenshots of her speaking with her sister and her boyfriend about her being openly racist because she walked into her house and saw that her sister was laying up with a white man. She was literally a white arm. She actually took a screenshot and put it on the internet, just a white arm over her black sister, sent her on a steep racist spiral. And she didn't care. She didn't quit. She openly told people in a video that she was going to do everything she could to break up their relationship. I showed you her bio yesterday, where she called herself a black supremacist. Proud.
I think it's a lot of people that are black supremacists. I do. I think that there's a lot of people in our society that can't wait. Anything that has to do with somebody that don't look like you, they genuinely can't wait to make it a racial thing. There are a lot of people that do things to other people that they would not want done to them. There are a lot of people that do things to other people that they would not want done to them. And the fact that you can berate somebody and then use social media in order to illustrate how race baiting and how racist you are. And a lot of people always want to say, well, you can't be racist because you don't have any power to be able to determine what happens to somebody else. Bullshit. Bullshit. Don't tell me you can't be racist because you don't have no power to determine what happened to somebody else. Hey, you do got the power to determine what happened to somebody else, because that all you got to do is accuse somebody of doing something that they didn't even do. I see people dox people all the time. All the time, people justify the possibility of doxing somebody. And the fact that you don't like somebody purely based off of the color of their skin, you can put whatever label on it that you want, but that's some bullshit. That is some bullshit. Let's continue.
Out in the open. Now, to be clear, she obscured her name, right? She was going on Twitter as Claire Kyle, the Claire Kyle. And what is so remarkably stupid about that is that although she changed her name, she didn't change her photo. It was a real picture of her using the pseudonym The Claire Kyle G, as if the internet was not going to be able to figure out who she was. She was confident.
One thing about it, and the one thing that I made up in my mind early in my YouTube career, when I first got on YouTube, is I said that I'm always going to be authentically me. I'm never going to switch it up. I'm not going to use no alias. I'm not going to try to use a different name. I'm going to use Anton Daniels, because no matter what happens, I'm going to be authentically me. More importantly, you act like when you get big on the internet or when you blow up or whatever, that it's not people that went to high school with you. That it's not people that used to rock with you. That it's not somebody in your family that's going to turn on you, or somebody that's going to say, nah, his real name is such and such, and so on and so forth. Nah, listen, this is just me. I'm just going to be whoever it is I'm going to be. And if I'm going to talk my shit, then I'm going to own it completely. I don't understand why people use aliases as though you don't know what their real names are, or at some point you're not going to figure out who they are. I'm going to just be 100% me. But I understand that people use aliases because they don't want to be doxxed. And I don't believe in doxing. However, when people go viral on a lot of these platforms and they're not even getting no money for it, I don't understand it. Because as long as you are talking on the internet, somebody at some point is going to recognize you.
Confident, actually, that the internet was not going to be able to figure out who she was. She was also confident that even if they did, she wasn't going to get fired. Here's what she tweeted when people started saying, I know who you are. I know where you work. She wrote this: yes, y'all have found my job. They told me to delete the post, but my job is safe since I did not directly wish harm on all white people. They laughed and told me to watch what I say and I'll be good to go. Being a great teacher pays off very well when they know your true self.
Can you imagine that these are the type of people that's teaching y'all kids? Can you imagine that these are the type of people that is literally teaching your kids every single day? Every day that your kid go to school, they are being taught by another human being, and you have no clue whatsoever of what it is that they feel, or what their sentiment is, what their objective is, how they live their life, whether or not they got a body in a deep freezer in the basement or what. You have no clue whatsoever. But now we have the internet, and what the internet has allowed people to do is to continue to shoot themselves in the foot. They use it on Twitter, they do it on Instagram, they do it on Threads, whatever the new platforms are. YouTube, they cannot wait. cannot wait to continue to put themselves in harm's way by talking, texting, and typing too much.
She followed it up with, just talk to the school board and my job is safe, cry in the corner. I told them it was a joke and they know that I'm not racist, so have fun. So despite the fact that she called this person a cave dweller, despite the fact that she had a past of tweeting about white people and that she called this person pasty, she's saying, well, I didn't say it to all white people. I didn't say it to every white person in America, so it's totally fine as long as I'm only being racist towards one white person. And of course, this was not enough for people that discovered who she was. By the way, her real name is Danielle Allen.
Now, see, that's the one thing that I don't do. I don't. If somebody don't want to know, don't want to say they real shit and stuff like that, I don't care. Listen, one of my things is I just don't believe in messing up nobody's bag. I know that other people feel differently and you have the right to feel whatever it is that you want to feel. It's a free country. I personally do not mess up nobody else's bag. I just don't. And maybe Candace Owens is taking this personally, this story in particular, because she is married to a white man, but I just can't. I cannot mess up somebody else's bag. It's just not in me. I don't want you to lose your job. We got enough homeless people. I want you to be able to feed your family. Maybe you shouldn't be in teaching kids or something. Who knows? And I know everybody else got their own reasons for doing what it is that they do. Me, personally, I cannot dock somebody and remove them from their position because I believe that your ability to be able to feed your family is absolutely possible. It is detrimental. You got to be able to feed your family. You shouldn't be on the internet saying dumb shit. I don't know. I'm just torn between a rock and a hard place with that.
They began to insist that something be done, but she was still confident nothing would be done. In fact, she posted this video of herself walking down the hallways at that elementary school, and she wrote this: first day of school, walking through the halls while Twitter thinks they can take my job from me. Ha ha! Little smiley face.
With a bunch of filters on and shit. See, now this is the type of stuff that wind up getting you fired. This is the type of stuff, see, you tortured people, you taunted people, you continued to put yourself out there in the public space. Before I started After Hours, which then became the Millionaire Morning Show, and then I started going on the panel shows and all of that other type of stuff in order to do what it is that I'm doing today, I made sure that I got out of the businesses that was public facing because I didn't want them to suffer at the hands of the things that I was saying. I was very, very intentional and very, very careful about what it is that I did. I moved. I decided to get another residence. I increased the security. I moved a little bit differently. I put my daughter in different schools and stuff like that. I wound up getting out of certain businesses. I was very, very strategic because the internet is the internet and the internet gonna do what the internet does. And so she just out here taunting people and putting herself at harm's risk. Well, you're gonna get what you asked for.
Call me every name under the sun, but y'all will never be able to call me unemployed. Wow.
Facts.
That's how it started.
Facts, you're going to get your ass fired.
Here's how it's going, folks. Turns out we actually can call her unemployed because the school district got wind of this and they posted this all across their socials. This is, again, in Mesquite, Texas. They posted this all across their...
And she did it in Texas? Fam.
socials, and as well as on the actual school website for the district. They wrote this: at approximately 4 p.m. yesterday, Mesquite ISD Independent School District became aware of a series of alarming racist statements posted to the X, formerly Twitter account, of a teacher at Thompson Elementary. Upon learning of the situation, our personnel staff began an immediate investigation. As of this morning, the employee is no longer a part of the Mesquite Independent School District organization and is not eligible for rehire. Due to privacy restrictions, Mesquite cannot comment on the details of personnel matters. Nevertheless, the highly offensive statements posted to her X account do not reflect the values and standards of Mesquite, and the district condemns them in the strongest terms.
How much fame do you guys and how many likes do y'all got to get in order to be able to torpedo yourselves? Because, I mean, she probably got a good career as being an OnlyFans chick now. But just a question. How many likes do y'all have to get, and how much visibility and how much clout do you need to actually put your own job at risk and your ability to be able to feed yourself in harm's way? How much we got to send you? How many cash apps do you get? How much clout do you need? How many people do you have to taunt? Why is this a thing for people? Why are people so starved for attention that they would put their own well-being on the line, and you continue to taunt people like you didn't just make the one video, or you didn't just do something dumb and make a mistake and then remove the video. You kept going. You can't be this dumb. You can't be this dumb. You cannot be this idiotic. No way. You don't even make no money on TikTok. Ain't even no bags like that on TikTok. Ain't no bags like that on none of them other platforms or none of that. How much money did they pay you in order to really clout chase yourself into unemployment? This is the dumbest thing ever. I'd love to reach out to her. Hey, what was her name again? Somebody rewind this live stream and tell me what her name was again so I can reach out to her.
So, yeah, she is on Allen. They began to insist that something a great teacher.
Claire Kyle, at Claire Kyle G. At Claire Kyle G. Let me see what's happening out here in these streets.
It pays off very well when they know your true self. She followed it up with, just talk to the school board and my job is safe. Cry in the corner. I told them it was a joke and they know that I'm not racist, so have fun. So despite the fact that she called this person a cave dweller, despite the fact that she had a past of tweeting about white people and that she called this person pasty, she's saying, well, I didn't say it to all white people.
Somebody find her information and send it to me in my email. Find her Instagram information and send it to me in my email.
Account of a teacher at Thompson Elementary. Upon learning of a situation, our personnel staff began an immediate investigation. As of this morning, the employee is no longer. The district condemns them in the strongest terms.
Oh, her account is deleted?
Yeah.
Now she want to delete her account after she get fired. Somebody find me her Instagram information and send it to me. Now, I know that's not her real name. Candace Owens already said her real name. Candace Owens already gave her real name. Somebody find her Instagram information and get it to me. I know y'all can do what y'all do. I know y'all great at what y'all do. I know y'all be getting this information to me as soon as possible. Somebody send her Instagram information and send it to me. I'm curious as to get her thoughts.
Is unemployed. And it just really, take a second, actually step back and think about this. She got triggered by a white arm and lost her entire job. It wasn't even like a sexy pose. Like, it was just a white guy's arm that was around her sister. And she got so triggered that she went on a racist rant, texted her boyfriend, was willing to lose her job. She's now lost her job. She couldn't stop herself, right? She could have instantly realized she could have started deleting things. Then she involved the school district by saying, they said my job's fine, which obviously only enraged people further. And all of this because she couldn't bear looking at a white arm. It's the truth. This is what actually happened. And I have more questions. I want to know personally what her sister is thinking. Can you imagine? You probably are finding out everything that's happening secondhand and going, are you good? Did you just actually lose it all over a white arm? Because it sounds like her sister, and obviously, given the fact that her sister was with a white man, she does not hold the same racist perspectives as her sister does. And she's probably thinking, what did you just do? Because her life is blown up. Make no mistake. She's not hireable. Everybody knows who Danielle Allen is now in the state of Texas. When she goes to apply for a job and people look her up, they're going to see her face associated with the story, no matter where you work. Whether you're talking about McDonald's or any other corporation, she is now unable to be hired as a teacher anywhere. She's done being a teacher. Maybe McDonald's will hire her. Maybe Burger King will hire her. And people will walk in, they'll get their Big Macs, they'll get their Whoppers, nothing. Pretty sure that's the girl that said she was a black supremacist, right? That is actually, her life is blown up. That's all that is left for her because she couldn't help but be racist. She got exactly what she deserved. But I got to get involved in this family drama. So if you are her sister and you are watching this, we will pay you $500 to give us the exclusive, to sit down with us and talk to us about what your sister just did blowing up.
Yo, I give you more than that. $500, that's all they offering over there at the Daily Wire. Hey, come kick it with your boy Anton at AntonDaniels.com. We got the bag over here. Listen, I don't know. Listen, I don't know what they offering y'all, but Anton take care of his people. I don't know what they offering y'all, but Anton take care of his people. Hey, come holler at your boy Anton Daniels. Y'all find out where she is. Y'all send me that Instagram information. I know y'all watching. Come holler at Anton Daniels. I'll make sure that you'll be able to survive at least for another week. I got you, baby girl. What's the offer again? Hold on. This is the standard rate. This really is a standard rate, y'all.
About what your sister just did, blowing up her own life. And if you are the white arm, just the white arm, we will give you $400 to sit down with us and give us the exclusive interview about what happened, what it felt like as the white arm in that scenario, and to realize that your white arm is now basically famous on the internet.
I got the bag for you. Hey, come holler at your boy. I'll give you a little bit more than that. Come kick it with your boy, all right? Shout out to you, but yeah, this is dumb. The idea that you guys are clout chasing to the point to where y'all getting fired from y'all jobs, that's a bit of an idiotic move, all right? All right? Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. If you guys are not a part of the Patreon, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also on top of that, get that Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Let's end this on a positive note, y'all. I am now going to be taking a flight in 2 days. 2 days. So we doing the show tomorrow. We're going to have Fight Club, regularly scheduled Fight Club. We're going to be doing a show from Tokyo next week in 2 days. Anton from AntonDaniels.com will be taking off. 13-hour flight, 13-hour time difference. 2 days, we're going to be in a completely different country. We're going to be in Tokyo partying it up. Yeah. Now, I know that because I'm going to be staying at the Ritz. So I know that I'm going to be staying there and they got Wi-Fi, but I'm trying to understand how secure is it? Do I need a pocket Wi-Fi or something like that? If anybody knows somebody that has visited Tokyo or has lived in Tokyo or understand how things operate in Tokyo, because I want to make sure that we going off without a hitch and that there's no problems whatsoever. Somebody give me the game and help me to understand of whether or not I need to get some additional equipment to make sure that I can stream effectively over in Tokyo. However, I want you guys to understand what airlines are investing in. Thank you, Ash. I'm definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly. I want y'all to understand what airlines are investing in. Make sure that y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Since the 1980s, economy seats in domestic airlines have lost anywhere from 2 to 5 inches in legroom pitch, with the least being Spirit Airlines with 28 inches, and seat width has shrunk by 2 inches. At the same time, seats at the front of the plane have gotten bigger and more complex. Airlines have been spending big to add more space and comfort on board.
I do have a VPN already that I'm rocking with. I will not tell you what I use for VPN because they're not giving me the bag as a result of doing so. But I do have a VPN already, but I don't know if I needed something else in order to effectively stream the way that I wanted to stream over there. But let's continue.
In fact, airplane seats were a $2.6 billion market globally in 2022, almost half of what airlines spent on their aircraft interiors.
Really at the heart of that onboard product is the seat. That's what you're going to be spending the most time in.
The seats have developed from very simple seats to very complex, very comfortable and high-tech products.
Seats are not all the same. On a typical aircraft, they range from economy to business to first class. And recently, airlines have seen a willingness among passengers to purchase more premium seats. Delta estimates its premium revenue will be 35% of total revenue this year.
Meaning that it is more lucrative. Aurora says the internet was great when I lived there. All right, so we good. We ain't got to worry about nothing. We good when it comes to the internet over there. Ain't nothing else that we got to get. Delta said that premium seating, which is only a small portion of what it is that's inside of the aircraft, is 35% of the total revenue share, up from 24%. Meaning that, as usual, the rich is getting richer and people are more willing to spend on experiences. They're more willing to spend on legroom. They're more willing to spend on services. They're more willing to spend on not being subjected to the bullshit that's happening in the back of the plane. People are spending more money on the things that actually increase the value of their lives instead of spending money just to get there. Let's continue.
Compared to 24% in 2014. Emirates introduced premium economy last summer, and since then, over 160,000 customers have bought up to this new cabin.
Getting from A to B isn't necessarily what they're selling.
What the hell is premium economy? What is premium economy? I don't know what premium economy is.
Anyone can do that. It's that experience within the.
That's exactly how I'm going to be flying right there. Literally. Well, actually, my wife and my daughter is going to be flying like that. I got my own little pod. I got a separate pod right now, all right? I am not advising y'all to buy into any airline any airline stock. I'm not a fan of airline stocks personally. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what my experience is. I am not a fan of airline stocks. I believe that the first thing that people cut out when the economy goes bad, when things start getting difficult, when you have to cut costs, when everything starts going bad, the first thing that people cut out is travel. They cut out leisure activities. And so when you've seen the pandemic hit, when you've seen the 2008 recession, when you see airline stocks and airline companies go up and down, up, they are the biggest roller coaster ride when it comes to an investment, right? And so I am not a fan of at all investing in airline stocks. I think you guys should do whatever it is that you do. Maybe you have some better understanding than I do, but this is basically how I'm going to be living because I have them layback seats. I got my own little pod. Les and Rita going to be doing something different. But I'm flying Delta One, so this is my experience. And I love the fact that they're investing in it because I spent an egregious amount of money to do so.
Competition is heating up as airlines upgrade their cabins and design new premium.
It's an Anton, what's your airline? I am platinum on Delta, soon to be diamond. Because of the pandemic and everything like that, everything got pushed out or whatever. I am a platinum member on Delta. I am platinum when it comes to being an MGM member. I am platinum all the way across the board. I am not diamond, but I will be diamond hopefully by the end of the year. I got a few more miles that I got to be able to take up, but I'll get there.
Premium seats with doors, privacy wings, wireless charging, even showers to win over customers.
Other airlines are also very conscious that people are expecting a higher standard of experience, and that will see them pay to go into higher classes.
Premium economy seats cost more to make, but bring in more revenue for the airline.
The goal of the airlines is obviously to make money on all of these things, and part of that comes from making sure that passengers not only buy the ticket today, but also buy it next time they're on board.
CNBC got an inside look at Recaro's aircraft seating factory to see how seats are made and to find out why they're becoming an increasingly important part of an airline's business.
I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly, Cliff.
Aircraft seating has come a long way since the early days of commercial aviation, starting with wicker chairs, evolving to those with plush cushions.
They had wicker chairs back in the day? Oh, no. Don't fly me in no wicker chair. Y'all don't even know that they used to smoke on the planes back in the day.
And the ability to lie flat. Over the last few decades, changing technology and airlines' thin margins have impacted the layout of the cabin and design of seats. There are also rigorous safety requirements like crash and flammability testing.
I didn't even know Recaro. So the thing that we should be investing in possibly is looking into the company Recaro. Recaro is literally a seat. Like you can look at it, Recaro seats inside of cars. I believe that they make like these type of seats right here. I'm not sure specifically, but I did not know Recaro was actually the preferred seat maker for airlines. I didn't know that. So rather than investing in airlines specifically, maybe we need to be looking into the possibility of what Recaro is generating and what kind of relationships that they have with the different industries and how that's continuing to blow up whatever their margins are or blow up whatever their revenue is. Honestly, that's the thing that I'm looking at. Recaro does make race seats. Is Recaro a publicly traded company? Let me see.
Seats are certified to fly.
They are designed for reliability. They build these things to withstand not just a passenger on them, but a 16G crash test experience.
Seats and the space between them have also gotten smaller, especially in economy class, while passengers have gotten larger. Modern economy class seats are designed for people up to 5'10" and under 180 pounds,
Nope.
reflecting passenger sizes in the early 1960s. but the average U.S. male is 200 pounds today.
There are some manufacturers that are working on ways to squeeze a few more seats in from time to time, but I do think we're starting to get, in some cases, especially for long haul, towards the limits of what's reasonable and what passengers are actually going to be willing to fly.
So Recaro, according to Raven Acquisitions LLC, was sold in 2020. Adient sold Recaro Automotive Seating business to Raven Acquisitions LLC, a Detroit-based, shout out to my Detroit people out here in these streets, a Detroit-based privately owned investment corporation with Recaro operating as an independent corporate structure, employing about 500 people globally. Recaro has locations in the U.S., Germany, and Japan. Wow. I did not know that. I did not know that. Recaro is privately held, and it is headquartered in Clinton Township, Michigan. I did not know that. Wow. That's pretty awesome. All right, let's continue.
There are some regulations around seat pitch that make it harder to get too much closer together. You have to be able to evacuate the aircraft in a timely manner, and the closer the seats get, the harder that is.
Cabin configuration has changed too, with more classes like Basic Economy, Economy, Extra Legroom,
Shout out to
Premium
Michigan.
Economy, Business, and First Class.
Look at all, and then Delta One. So Basic Economy, Economy, Extra Legroom, Premium Economy, Business Class, and then First Class. Wow, that's a lot.
There's probably no more valuable real estate in the world than a square inch on an airplane that's about to take off, and especially in the premium cabins. And so the airlines work very, 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 very hard to optimize layouts of the seats.
American Airlines, Delta, and United have been adding more premium seats to their fleets.
Premium economy is really on the rise, and more airlines are switching a 3-class layout to a 4-class layout.
Premium economy is often a separate cabin in between business and economy that offers bigger seats for a higher price, with similar amenities, but not quite the lie-flat business class experience. Seats vary depending on the route and the airline. Typically, long-haul flights offer more legroom and comfort than those on shorter routes. Airlines like Emirates and Etihad sell full.
Rita is obsessed with Emirates. Rita is literally obsessed with Emirates. She can't wait to fly on Emirates. I was walking through the airport when I was flying back from the Dominican Republic with my daughter, and we seen the Emirates, the ladies that be on Emirates or whatever, the stewardess or whatever y'all want to call them. They was looking dope. It's almost like outside countries are kicking our ass when it comes to the service industry, when it comes to the amenities, when it comes to everything. But it's very difficult for me to get away from Delta because I get all of my points and all of my perks on there, and I got a specific class and a status. So I don't know.
Suites with closing doors, and some cabins offer access to a shower on board.
20-ish years ago it was, let's get to a flat bed so people can sleep on board. And today we're starting to talk about more privacy on board, having an opportunity for passengers to sort of cocoon themselves in the cabin and not be interrupted by other passengers or by cabin crew.
Airlines order seats from seat manufacturers, not from Boeing and Airbus.
The market for aircraft seating is dominated by a couple players. Recaro is the biggest, Collins Aerospace not far behind. There are a lot, though, of other smaller players, especially as you start getting into the premium cabins.
The airline customers we are working together with, the premium airlines, they are using it for 8 to 10 years, and then they are replacing the seats with the next generation.
Seats can last up to 30 years, but top-tier airlines typically fly them for 8 to 10. After that, they are often sold to a lower-tier airline or refurbished. With the recent delays in new aircraft deliveries, airlines are pulling older jets out of retirement to keep up with the snapback in travel demand. And spending more for a new seat versus a refurbished seat may not make financial sense for the airline.
It really is to do with the lift that the airline needs and how do they keep aircraft flying longer, but at the same time being mindful that they wouldn't want to invest too much in an aircraft that's near the end of its life.
An airline can have hundreds of planes in its fleet, and with each aircraft needing hundreds of seats, the cost can add up. For example, economy seats cost roughly $2,000 each. A business seat with all the bells and whistles like lying flat can range from $70,000 to $100,000.
What? No way. No way. No way they are paying that amount of money for seats. So the ones that lie flat, you're telling me that they're paying the equivalent of $70,000 to $100,000 for a seat? I mean, you got the whole pod and everything like that, but no fucking way that they paying that amount of money. I don't believe it. I don't believe even for a minute that they're paying $2,000 for those individual little small seats that y'all see in there. No way. No way. What is the additional cost that's associated? That makes no sense whatsoever. There's no way that you're going to sell me on that. There's no way that you're going to sell me on that. I don't know where they're getting these numbers from. I do not believe it. You got to show it to me. I am very curious. I will call Recaro myself and ask for a tour of the facility, and maybe they'll grant it to me or not, but no fucking way that they paying $70,000 to $100,000. Now, of course, they're going to keep these seats in operation for forever, right? We know that they're going to keep these seats in operation. I paid $10,000 for my seats per person, right? So I spent $30,000 in order to fly back and forth to Japan. So I'm assuming that they're going to be able to recoup those costs fairly quickly, right? You take 7 flights, you do 7 booked trips, you're able to recoup that $70,000 ASAP. You're going to get it back in less than, a month? But it just seems like that is just excessive. $70,000 to install a seat? $70,000 to install a seat? No way. No fucking way. I'm not going for it. To $100,000?
Bringing the cost for a narrow-body jet with 16 business class seats and 150 in economy to nearly $2 million. Bigger planes like the A380 can have over 400 seats.
From the airline perspective, figuring out which seat to go with is a complex math formula. How much is it going to cost me today? How many seats can I fit on board? How much is it going to cost me to maintain them going forward?
The seats are way too cheap, I need to tell you, because if you look into an aircraft, the seat and the cabin, it's less than 5% of the investment of the overall aircraft.
If you're fitting out an A380 with the volume of seats and you've got first class and business class, then you could easily get into tens of millions.
That's crazy. I don't know what they charging. No way. I'm about to get into seat manufacturing business because I could do that shit for way cheaper. No way. That's why the UPS workers is getting fucking $170,000 a year. The drivers, UPS drivers, they saying that they negotiated a deal where they're going to be making close to $170,000 a year. You got to pay for that shit. You got to pay for it. Anyways, that's what airlines are spending the majority of their resources on as far as improving the experiences so that they can charge you more money. And then that's the difference between the rich and the poor. All right. Let me read a few of these super chats and then I'm going to get y'all out of here for the day. Shout out to y'all. Aaron says almost 250 pull-ups today and 2.5 miles in yoga. Did you work out today? No, I didn't. I did my live stream last night. I was in the bed by like 1:30. I got back up at 4:30 and I've been cooking every day since then. I'm getting ahead on my projects when it comes to work. I'm making sure that all of the deliverables is what they need to be so that we can make sure that everything is taken care of on the job and we going from there. So no, Anton Daniels has not worked out today, but I did work out yesterday and the day before and the day before that. So congratulations, Aaron, on doing your 250 pull-ups. That is incredible. I will not be doing 250 pull-ups because the way that my back is built, it's a little bit different. Timeout says, but Anton, this is black man's fault according to Dr. Umar. We are the leaders and maybe it's past trauma that is making her behave this way. Shout out to Timeout. My dog Ash is in the building. Says she has more to a blue state to get rehired as a teacher. BJ in Chicago would love to hire her. She's good. Brandon Johnson. Shout out to Brandon Johnson in Chicago. I appreciate you, Ash, for continuing to hold me down. Brock is in the building with the Pass of Love offering. We appreciate you. Ash, what another 2-ball says, move. That's what he meant to say. He meant to say move. Shout out to you. Cliff Williams says, premium economy is what economy was 10 years ago. That's true. That is true. Bitcoin Brown says, I flew Emirates business class to the Maldives for my honeymoon last December. The experience was amazing. It was amazing. Shout out to you. Aaron also says, can we do a Patreon live stream where we go through how to find and invest in lesser known companies? It's easy to find Google, but how do you mind out finding the suppliers or subcontractors? I think that we can talk about that. I'll work on that. That's a really good idea. Let me put that down in my notes right after I email the young gentleman that we need to email in order to get his information. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for continuing to rock with me. Tomorrow night, same thing. Make sure that y'all tuned into tomorrow morning for the Millionaire Morning Show. Make sure y'all tuned into the show. I love you. I appreciate you. I need you to do me one more favor before we get up out of here, though. Y'all know what that one more favor is? Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Please. Peace.